Chris, you're in your car. That's
Yes.
a strange change of pace where I'm not in my car and you are in your car. Howdy, folks. This is Plow Mike here. Uh oh, you froze.
That's a scary image, man.
That's like a smug, satisfied.
Yeah, I know.
image.
I was leaving my Wi-Fi.
Okay, Mike, get it started because you know the topic.
Okay, first things first. You guys know my particular feelings when it comes to shootings. For those that don't know, in 2001, this was before 9/11. My school was shot. We had a shooter at my high school. 2 of my friends were shot in front of me. So there's a reason why that topic is, on the subject of school shootings is a big topic for me. So any shooting, I am not for. I don't care who the victim is, especially in public. I can understand in a wartime scenario that is completely different. And I will say right now, what happened to Charlie Kirk should not have happened. Period.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. First off, Elihu, hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
The whole thing about calling him a racist asshole, a bigot, cultist, MAGA, fascist, Nazi, that's the shit that got him murdered. Period. End of discussion.
I'm sorry, repeat the last thing you said. You kind of staticky for me. Repeat the last thing you just said, MB. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second.
The direct hate from the left is what caused this, and I was afraid it was
No.
at some
No.
point. Yes.
Right.
His own
Yes.
no, hold on, Andy.
Yes.
His own words caused it.
Oh, his own words caused his death.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that excuse.
All right, wait.
Hold
Can
on.
I say something right here really quick? I'm done with it. I think MB, here's the thing. I don't think saying his own words created it. I think what needs to be said is that people in political activist places need to understand that their words will not resonate with everybody, and that can sometimes put them in danger. How about that?
Yeah, no shit.
Every political activist needs to understand that. So in that realm,
why? Because they're afraid of what he had to say.
okay,
No.
fine, doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
I'm
what
not
I'm saying is it
afraid-
doesn't
I'm not
matter.
afraid of
That
what he
still
has to
means
say.
that still means that his own words got him there. It doesn't mean it's his fault. Doesn't mean he shouldn't say them. But yes, his words hit somebody in a way where they couldn't handle it, and then they became a radical.
Yes.
And the problem is this came from their own side.
50 fucking miles, blow his neck off. That's how fucking radicalized. Was this guy in college?
No,
This guy go to
Andy.
college?
No,
Oh, he didn't go
You
to
got-
college? Sure.
no. Hold on. No. I'm disagreeing with you in your point entirely, and I'm going to explain why. Charlie Kirk himself said, one, empathy is something that is dangerous. He said that, empathizing with other groups and other peoples is probably one of those like new age things, and it's more dangerous than it should be, or than it shows on the surface. So let's say showing empathy for anybody apparently is something that is bad, according to Charlie Kirk. And one of the best quotes I've seen lately, while I personally do not support what happened to Charlie Kirk supports what happened to Charlie Kirk.
So you're happy about the fact that this guy's dead and a martyr?
No,
I don't think that's true.
No.
No, he never said those words. He never said those words.
But you're blaming him for his own murder.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute.
You're a fucking cunt then.
No.
No.
Yeah.
That's because words have consequences.
Yes,
And the words that he said,
consequences, because
he-
I've said this freedom of speech is not
now remember,
the consequences of that speech. Now explain to me what he was doing that was such a threat to the democracy of America.
I didn't say
Can I
that.
speak? Can I
One-
speak? Can I say something, guys?
Hold on.
You
NB,
support
I
You
did not
asked
say.
the question.
NB.
You're not going to let anybody answer a question. Can I speak something? Can I say something for once?
intelligence.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Okay, MD, can I say something? I want to address your first comment you said about my little comment in the thing. I never said the word Nazi. All I said was he was a racist asshole who should not have been murdered.
Oh,
all I said.
Racist asshole, Nazi, fascist.
Excuse me, but I never said the N word. I never said the F word. I said
Hold on.
R
It
word.
doesn't matter if
Can
you
I
said
can I
it,
finish speak?
other
Can I
people
finish?
said it and you
NB.
voted for it. You all voted.
NB, Mike has the power to mute you. By the way, he has
I
not
haven't-
mute anyone.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't
He can
done it
mute
so
me.
far.
He can mute.
But
He can mute me. He can mute
hold on.
Chris.
Elihu, calm down, and NB, calm down. Because as I said, we know that my position on shootings is abundantly clear. Okay,
Yeah, but the problem is you put a butt in there.
and the reason there's a but in there is because of his own words and actions.
His own words and actions. So he had an opinion.
JFK. Hey, wait. Time.
Well, hold
Let
on.
me help you on this.
He had an opinion
Wait,
and he went
JFK's
and talked with people about it. Oh, that's
JFK and his brother's words got him where they're at. Where they ended up.
Now,
That doesn't change the fact.
let me finish my one of my things. NB, let me finish, please. One of the things Charlie Kirk once said after a church shooting in which 3 children.
Said, I want to know.
All right, I'm going to do that for a second, NB, because you're obviously more emotional about this than I am. One of the things that Charlie Kirk said was that after a church shooting where 3 children were murdered, is that sometimes sacrifices have to be made to protect the Second Amendment. That means, in reality, Charlie Kirk was a sacrifice to his own beliefs. He would have approved of this. Maybe not in the way it happened.
Does that not make him what MB said? He is a martyr to his own cause. He is.
It seems like NB is just upset because I keep on calling out Charlie as a racist. The comments he used to make. I'm like, these are facts. These are statements.
Wait. Okay. So here's the thing. I didn't pay attention to him at all because again, he's just a mouthpiece that I don't have time to pay attention to people like that. And when I say that, I mean that on both sides. I don't pay attention to a lot of people because they have nothing really politically to do with the landscape except for rile people up in one way or another, good or bad, doesn't matter. That's what they're there for. That's what they do. But my question is where do you have a quote where he's been an actual racist? Do you have a quote that you can point to where he actually said something 100%? What is it then? I've never seen, and again, like I said, I don't pay attention to it, but I've yet to see anybody say it.
Black people were better under the 1940s Jim Crow laws. Unquote.
Okay, well, time out.
Our affirmative action picks. Quote. Black pilots not qualified.
Time out.
Quote.
Time out.
Hold on. Can you say those a little bit slower, Elihu? Because you're saying them so quickly.
Yes. Quote. Black people were better in the 1940s under Jim Crow laws. Quote. Black pilots are not qualified. Quote. Black women are affirmative action picks. Quote. Birth controls cause women to be angry and bitter.
Okay, so here's my thing, though.
And hold on. I'm going to bring NB back up just because I got my point out, and I wanted to. I just wanted to do that. So I'm sorry for
all I have. Sorry.
I wanted to say it. Sorry, I put you down, NB. I just needed to get my point across.
I'm sorry. I'm emotional about this.
I got you.
Dude, everybody's emotional about this.
When it comes to shooting, hold on. Let me get. I want to say this. When it comes to shootings, I get emotional too. I completely understand you, NB.
Yeah,
and in fact,
about shootings too. I don't like it, but what I don't like is the hypocritical of everybody saying, no, it wasn't your words that got him killed. It was his own words. Well,
I don't know. Whoa, again. I want to defend this.
No, I want to address something Elihu said because here's the thing. What Charlie Kirk was referring to was the same thing I've heard a lot of people talk about. Was why was the black family better under Jim Crow? Because there was a family, there was a community. They were strongly protected by themselves because
I will say
they were a family unit. They didn't have mass divorces and stuff.
okay.
I'm not
Do you know
saying
what the Jim Crow law is?
Wait,
Jim Crow law is separation.
Elihu, chill. Hold on. We know what Jim Crow is. I just want to say something to you, Elihu, and also to MB's point. I don't agree with the Jim Crow laws. I don't agree with any of those statements. But I believe that you can't take it as a racist comment. You could, but I think that's a position on something that if you're looking at it and you have the opinions of like if you listen to what MB's arguing on it, if you feel that way, if you can look back and say, look, I mean, they had their own community. No, they and yes, I understand why they had their own community because they were forced to have their own community. I get it, but if that's what people believe, and they're like, well, look, though, they had their own community. Their families were intact. They had children that were being raised properly. If that's what you think, if that's what you believe, I'm not going to argue this one way or another because I don't know how African-American, black people, however you wish to address them, I do not know how they feel about those comments. So I can't speak on that behalf, but I can tell you that could be considered just an opinion or statement that they believe in, not necessarily meaning that they are racist. I don't know that from another side of it. I'm saying that point blank saying that, especially in your position not being a black person, I don't know.
If you want something along these lines, one of the things Charlie Kirk founded was Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His national field director, one of the people that actually helped organize these events and stuff, who was never fired, by the way, after making this comment, accidentally texted to a large portion of the organization, "I hate black people, end of story." And yet he never decided to fire her for that.
Why should you fire her for that?
You know,
you don't think someone accidentally texting out
up to the company?
The company has a right to allow freedom of speech in the way that they feel fit. I don't know.
To let you have freedom of speech, or they have the right to deny you. Chris and I both know this. When we were in the military, our freedom of speech was limited.
Would it matter that? Hang on.
MB brought up something. That is par with this topic. Mike, you said military. Your freedom of speech is limited, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Should a member of the military be sanctioned or punished for making a comment on a civilian? Yes or no?
Depends.
In uniform.
Or sorry, what? Yes or no?
Are they in uniform?
They are currently active service members. Are they allowed to make a public
comment? Are they in uniform when they make the statements?
Yes, they are currently serving. Yes.
Statement they
no, are they in uniform when they were making the statements?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Then yes, they will be charged under the UCMJ.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, they might depend. I mean, they might get charged. They might get a letter of counseling. They might get nothing.
Because the reason why I brought this up is because Pete Hedges made a statement saying that.
Okay, what does that have to do with the Charlie Kirk thing?
Yeah, what is it?
I'm finishing my sentence, guys. I am finishing my sentence.
Hold on, I'm gonna let Elihu finish.
He said any service member made a derogatory statement. Hey, can I fucking finish?
Hold on, NB, let him finish, and then we'll dissect the comment.
He said any military member makes a negative comment about Charlie Kirk's murder will be sanctioned or removed from service. A private citizen. This is what he said. Do you think this is right?
Wait, say that again. What was the comment? Wait, what was it?
Pete Hedges, the leader of the Department of Defense, said any military that makes a negative comment about Charlie Kirk's death will be sanctioned or removed from the military. Do you believe this statement is actually?
What does that have to do about?
Who issued that?
Pete Hedges, the head of the DOJ. Hedges, whatever.
If that's what he said, I mean, I would state, here's the thing, and this is a problem with some of the statements made by the Trump administration right now. Not that, I'll put it this way, minus one or two words that Trump said after the shooting in his address to the nation. I thought he did a very good job of how he stated it. There were a few things I think were typical Trump, but for the most part, I was actually very happily surprised with the way he handled it. I don't like defending the guy. Wait, but to Pete Hegseth thing, I wouldn't have said what he said. I would have said, listen, in times like this, any military person who says something derogatory towards a victim will be sanctioned or reprimanded. That's how I would have stated it. But he said Charlie Kirk, whatever.
Also, Elihu, there were things we were not told to talk about, so we had to keep things neutral. We got ordered. Now, hold on a second. I'm going to say
I'm coughing.
Off topic.
I'm coughing.
We've actually had base commanders allow people to go out in uniforms for things like pride events. They've been able to go out in uniform, but that's the base commander's decision.
You're allowed, just like any company, the military can allow you the freedom to say things or do things, but the thing is unlike a company, you better damn well wait until you're told you can do it. A company, you can say whatever the hell you want to say. It's up to the company how they handle it. But in the military, if you say it and you are given explicit rights to do so, you're going to be, you might as well assume you're going to be court-martialed in some way, shape, or form. But I was going to go back to my point with UMB about how and I agreed with Mike about this, and just give me a moment to explain this as best I can with the words get you there. JFK and RFK both said things that pissed people off, and ultimately those words led to both of their whatever I can say on YouTube, which I don't even know anymore. Led to their passing away. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to say it just about Charlie Kirk. I'm going to say it about political activism. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. The fact of the matter is when you say stuff, especially in this divisive of a world right now, in the back of your head, you need to be saying to yourself every day, I might have a target on my back, and I may not come back home. A police officer leaves every day. They don't want to die, but they might. They might not come back. Firefighters, military, a lot of people. This is that he places himself in the category of risk alone because of what he does. And what he does is speak. He publicly speaks. So therefore, yes, right or wrong, his words got him there, and that doesn't make it his fault. It just means he said stuff that riled somebody up enough. And the fact that this guy voted for Trump he registered as independent. I don't really know what that means. But everything we're finding out about this is this kid was more on his side. I have no clue, and I'm waiting to hear what his excuse for it was, because it's funny that the guy that tried to take Trump out at golf was more on the right. The guy that tried at the rally that he was, that guy was more on the right. They figured. I'm trying to figure out what it is that the radical left keeps having to do with these things. Now, yes, the school shooting a while back. The trans person. Okay, I guess you can try to go down that road, but I'm not really sure that a person's sexual orientation or beliefs or the way that they align themselves in their love life or anything like that. I'm not really sure if that matters anything towards if you're left or right. I have met some very, very, very happy people who are so conservative. I don't know how they live. Because I'm like, dude, nobody in your line of thinking thinks that you belong there. Well, I won't say doesn't think you belong there, but there's a very big conflict of interest in many things, and so. But I don't think any of this. So the use of the word radical left keeps coming up, and all it is a talking point. This isn't about. This isn't about radical left. This is about. Wait, so this guy was red.
And it's about the left and their speech.
Why?
Okay,
How did this guy have anything to do with the left? How did this guy have anything to do with the left?
Chris.
Yeah, so we're letting go.
I want MB to actually answer this question. In this regard, what speech by the quote unquote radical left was? Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish my question. Okay, so what speech specifically would have caused something like this, and what do you think is actually radicalizing the left?
I think what's radicalizing the left is honestly that they tried to make too big a tent and make everybody other than white people the victim. And yes, this is how I believe.
I'm sorry, that's a very broad statement. Can you make a more specific reference? That's a very, very broad statement, NB.
Let him finish. Let him finish. He's. I don't want to gang up on NB too much.
It depends on who makes the comments. But the biggest thing that I would have to say is, besides the Nazi rhetoric, the fascist rhetoric, the racist bullshit rhetoric, I think it's just the fact that it all was going, and this guy was young. Now remember, Charlie Kirk was 31. The assassin was 22. That means for 10 years, yes, and I know what his family was. They were gun-loving Republicans, so of course he knew how to shoot a gun. Although my friends and I in the Marine Corps say he was a pussy for having a scope at 200 yards in an elevated position. But that's neither there. What takes? How does someone who comes from a family like that drive 250 miles to shoot someone and then drive back home and tell their family? Now, there's a lot going on with this statement. I don't care that the person he was with was trans, unless that radicalizes his ideology. I don't know when it happened. Maybe, you know what?
That narrative has not been proven false or true yet.
No. I've heard people say, oh, he went down the internet and he went down a dark hole. Well, which dark hole? I don't know where these guys dive to. I don't go down these rabbit holes.
But that's the point. Is like, I don't think you can say that anything that the radical left had to do with this. And my point was this: I don't think that when you get down this point where you go down a rabbit hole, which I think is a good word for this, I don't think any of these shooters align with either side. Overall, I think they get to a point and then they fixate on something, and they fixate on how it has affected them, or what they think has affected them, or why their world is shit because of this person, when probably that person had nothing to do with it. Again, a political activist is only that. They are a mouthpiece for a particular ideology or a particular subject matter. Some just focus on one agenda, some attached to a wider agenda with many different plot points. But here's the thing: at some point, the guy who shot him found a reason that he was the problem, whether or not it's right or wrong. But I don't think that has. And this is my point: that the radical left thing. Why don't we just start calling them radical right? Because half of this stuff isn't even. Well, but the thing is that right now, then the radical right is in control of a lot of things. But nobody says it.
Everything is far right. They always say everything is far right.
Well, right now, I mean, there's a lot of things happening in this country that are far right.
All right,
mean,
to church. I'll go to church.
Hold
you
on.
can disagree with me. It's my,
Hold on, I have
it's
a
just my opinion.
NB, I have a question.
But
Do you think that Charlie Kirk was, by your own definition, far right?
No. I think
No.
he was just a guy trying to have conversations with people, and every time I'd seen him, did I agree with everything? No. But I'm going to tell you this. Okay, take this. I've got my daughter and I'm actually going to use the pronouns right for once, because my daughter's girlfriend
Sorry, I
is
didn't.
actually,
I want to pause you for a second, NB, because I want to respond to Dandelion's comment. Sorry for that. Dandelion, on the political spectrum for left or right, there's a saying amongst people like me that you go far enough left, you get your guns back. And I'm part of that group. I'm not anti-gun per se. I'm more of gun control. I am a very big proponent of that. So, I understand what you were trying to get across, but on the spectrum list, guns are not a left-right issue per se.
all right. What was I saying before you?
your use of that, I don't think is. Sorry.
What was it? I'm sorry. What was I talking about? Sorry,
Charlie Kirk, and not agreeing with everything he said, but what he did.
I didn't agree with everything he said, but I thought, every video I'd seen, he was always trying to be respectful. I mean, yeah, there was some, but you've got people like Ilhan Omar being like, oh, well, he said Juneteenth was stupid. I think that's pretty fucked up. I'm like, you're from Somalia, and I don't know anything about Juneteenth. I know it was recently made a federal holiday by President Biden, but nobody has really explained what Juneteenth is, and I don't think a lot of people know. I've looked it up, but that doesn't mean I know the full facts about why Juneteenth happened.
Okay,
so maybe
I can tell you about Juneteenth.
Hold on a second. So maybe his version of it being stupid is because most people don't know what that holiday was supposed to mean.
Okay, do you want me to explain it to you if you don't know? Or
no, I know. I'm saying that I don't think a lot of people know what it's about. But go ahead and explain.
I think that's due to just not wanting to know.
Okay, maybe you're right.
It's to celebrate the actual end of slavery.
I thought it was the
Emancipation Proclamation. It was.
It's when people. Yeah, it's when it finally reached down to Texas.
Okay,
when every single state got notification that slavery was now illegal in the United States. That's the celebration of the end of it.
The Emancipation Proclamation.
But it was the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation order.
No, the 15th Amendment was the final thing. Hold on.
But Juneteenth is what it is. It's the declaration of the end of slavery.
You guys just not like hearing me finish. I let.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you why it started and why it was started in Texas.
I'm to say, oh my God, do you know how hard it is to get my brain back when you guys constantly interrupt me? Okay, the Emancipation Proclamation only applied to the southern states. It did not apply to the states in America that still had slaves and stayed in the Union. Make no bones about it. That's what it was about. It was about trying to get the South to uprise, the black slaves to uprise. You can say
the end of slavery in the United States. That's what it was. It had nothing to do with North or South. It was the commemoration, the end of slavery.
I mean,
period. It did not say North. It did not say South. No, it said end of slavery. It did not specify a certain region.
It was basically the time when the last bastion of area where people were not enforcing the rule was finally enforced to free the slaves.
That's why the Alamo happened.
It's not why the Alamo happened, but
Well, that's one of the reasons why the
Alamo
Alamo happened.
but it was
What the fuck
it was
are you talking about? You know what? Stick to astronomy and not history.
The Alamo didn't happen because of that. The Alamo happened
No,
because the Mexican
yeah.
army was coming up.
The Alamo is a completely
Okay.
Yeah, it was
different
one of the
topic.
it was one of the reasons why the segment was a big deal in Texas. In Texas itself, it was one.
The Mexican American War was all about the fact because we wanted Texas, and honestly, we wanted to do Manifest Destiny to go to the other
Texas.
side of the, yeah, and you know what? Hey, Mexicans were doing shit.
Texas seceded from Mexican territory in Mexico.
Well,
and
if you really hold on next week, if you guys really want to talk about the Alamo, Mrs. Vile would be someone we should definitely talk to because she knows a lot about that on the Mexican side. So we could talk about that later, but I'm not going to go into it.
That'd be interesting to hear about.
Now,
anyways,
here, I want. We've been talking about it for 30 minutes. I want to go into. I want to talk about what I.
Can you let MB finish real quick? I just want to hear what his final thoughts are, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead and finish real quick.
Look, Charlie Kirk had views that people disagree with. I understand that. I had to deal with my not gay but gay daughter with her trans boyfriend of 2 years. Yes, Mike. I've had a trans person staying in my house 6-7 days a week on a regular basis with my daughter. So I'm not as closed-minded as you think. I just simply have good conversations with them. And I say, hey, I'm trying to work with you. I said, can you tell me why you want the different pronouns? And, then I had another day, like, I don't really want to talk about that. I said, then I'll leave it alone. I said, I'm trying, and I said, I just want you to feel welcome and loved in this family. She goes, I love being over here. I'm happy when I'm over here with you guys with Charlene. So you might want to take a different view on me a little bit when it comes to my tolerance level of understanding people's different views.
I've never assumed anything about you, though. I'm not sure if the other guys have.
I had to.
And specifically, we're not trying to attack you personally.
Yeah, I had to explain it because my wife told me they knew who Charlie Kirk was. And I sat down and talked to them about it. This is the first time I've had to do that kind of thing. And I asked them, I said, what do you guys think about this? And they both said the same thing that I've seen a lot of people say. Well, I didn't agree with everything you said, but that wasn't right. And I mean, I'm talking about a 15 and a 14-year-old.
All right.
So,
I think we can.
All right.
All right. Anyway, can we?
Well, I want one of the reasons I chose a specific photo for this stream. I don't know if you noticed it. That is a picture of Christopher Rose. Christopher Rose.
Christopher Rose.
Now, do you guys happen to? NB seems to know who he is. Do you know who it is, Elihu or Chris?
Not off the top of my head.
I barely know this story, so you're gonna.
All right. So last month we had somebody literally fire over 300 rounds at the Alabama CDC headquarters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
I remember.
Christopher Rose was one of the responding officers.
And that didn't pop on my feed anywhere.
Well, it did on mine.
Where did this happen?
This happened last month.
Oh,
CDC.
And
the guy was upset about the COVID shit.
Yeah, he basically believed that the COVID shot gave him PTSD. Essentially. Sorry, and again, sorry, I need to be corrected. Gab After Dark just pointed out that the CDC is in Georgia, not Alabama. I apologize. Thank you for correcting me.
Yes,
'cause
Starfleet's in Alabama.
I would want my facts to be correct. Now, Christopher Rose was one of the ones was shot and killed by that person. He was a police officer. There has been no comments by the current administration about it, other than saying, it happened. One of the only things I could look up was basically a memorandum from the Department of Homeland Security wanting to look into seeing whether his wife was an immigrant or not.
Here's the thing. Most of us are not going to end up as footnotes in history.
But what I'm saying, one, this person was able to fire over 300 rounds during an altercation. He killed a police officer, and the only thing the administration tried to do was deport his wife.
I don't know anything about that, so me, I don't comment on things I don't know about.
But I just wanted to make that clear. I mean, that the startling differences between a black police officer who was slain by and we could argue just in the case, he was, killed by a mass shooter, just like Charlie Kirk. And I don't think Charlie Kirk's situation qualifies as a mass shooting. I don't know how many other people were injured.
Qualifies mass shooting, qualifies as an assassination.
But there, you can understand there's a huge difference between someone who was an obvious Trump supporter and this administration's reaction to it versus someone who wasn't.
Yeah,
I'd also point out.
In Congress, they asked for a moment of silence. The Speaker of the House asked for a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, and the fucking left just kept losing their shit. And I heard one of them say, "Oh, fuck this." That's our leadership right now. That's the great divide we have in our ideologies.
Hold on
a second.
I wanted to say,
I think people like the four of us can actually come to reasonable conclusions. And I don't blame you guys for Charlie Kirk's murder, even though I know you have ideological differences than me. But the rhetoric that had been said, I'm afraid, I'm sorry to say, this was inevitable.
That's probably sad.
It's unfortunate.
I'm not saying he was I'm sorry for interrupting. I wanted to respond to Gap's comment. I'm not saying he was assassinated like Charlie Kirk, but he was still killed in the line of duty. But no one seems to really care.
Well,
I'll compare this. Hold on, I want to compare this because the Christopher Rose has a GoFundMe page to help his family out.
Yeah.
Hey, all I'm saying is this.
Hold on, let me finish. I'm sorry, NB, but the amount of money that has been donated to his GoFundMe by anybody is less than that of the woman who got fired after calling a child the N-word at the playground.
We can't help but people fund.
I know, but it also was spread around less by both sides.
I'm sorry, I cannot control what the media does and what they don't do.
The only fundraiser I see was somebody raising funds for Charlie Kirk's family, although he's worth $12 million. I'm like, why are people giving him money?
Okay, listen.
That's the only fundraiser I've seen lately.
Okay.
What I heard was there's an NFL player that's going to pay for the kid's college.
Well, I don't think that's necessary, but if he wants to do that, that's his right to do it. I mean, let me just say this.
I think it's a nice gesture, and I've seen videos of people pissed off that the flag was at half mast for. I'm like,
that's the president's right to do it.
I was nothing from Melissa Horton.
Hold on, Eli.
Stop. All right, can I say something before we get too down this rabbit hole again? One,
Chris,
the officer.
No,
What?
Chris, I don't know about you, but there were times where the flag was flown at half-mast, and I was just like, okay, why? Who
A
died?
governor can ask that the flag be dropped to half-mast in the state. A president can do it for whatever reason. Listen, it could be a Tuesday and say, hey, it's a Tuesday, put it at half-mast. I don't get into that. It's whatever. It happens so often now, left and right, doesn't matter. You know what? You know what? I understand why it was done. I may not agree with it, but it's okay. It's what was done. End of story. But the fact here is that I want to say about the police officer is that is more of a local thing because he was not a name that was literally in everybody's household at some point or another. Right or wrong, that is why that's the way it was. I guarantee you right now, we had 3 officers die in the past 3 months. Do any of you know about it? Here, right around my area.
Unfortunately, no, it hadn't hit my feeds. How did they die?
That's my point. Well, they were killed by people that they were either serving a warrant to. One was during a stop. Somebody got ran over trying to put stop sticks down. Any one of a number of reasons, police officers die every day. I'm not saying it's
wrong,
right.
Chris.
Stop.
This may sound wrong.
Let me finish.
Hold on, let him finish. Elihu, shut up and let him finish.
I will. If I'm trying to say I'm shutting up.
Right or wrong, I understand why there's a difference, why that wasn't such a big deal. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been. I'm just saying I understand. Charlie Kirk is a national figure that the president is directly tied to. Therefore, that's going to get the play. And that is media. Either side of this it goes on. That is media. So I understand that, right or wrong. So I'm not really sure. The point of that is yes, I find it funny that Charlie Kirk is being revered as a hero and all that when John McCain died, all Trump wanted to say is that he was a loser because he was captured. That's not right. That's horrible.
Yes, and I 100% disagree with
that. And the way that I have seen Trump treat military in that regard is horrible, and that should be the story. Is that maybe yes, the police officers who die need more recognition, and military don't need to be disrespected, and that Charlie Kirk just seems to be getting all the things that should be given to these people without question. But I can't stop that. Let's not. And really, if people want to let this happen, then that is part of the problem of our country. Is that their efforts are misaligned with what should be important, which is the military to fight with you or fight for you. I'm sorry, the fight for you. The ones that don't come home, the ones that honorably serve their country, the officers that honorably serve every day that are put in danger's way, and they know it and they do it still. All these things right there should be more important than Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is a part of the overall problem, and it's not like we should just ignore it. But he's getting the front page news. This should be a larger thing talking about all these people that have been brought on by this problem. Mass shootings of 300 rounds fired, an officer killed. All these things should be a part of this conversation equally.
Yeah,
but that is the problem.
Can I say something now? Can I say something? Can I say something now, Chris? MD, I was addressing from his police shooting thing. That's what I wanted to.
Hey, guys. Let Elihu finish, and then we'll go on to MB's point. Then I'm going to go on to something Dandelion said earlier.
Okay, Chris, you mentioned about the police shootings. Around here, I don't want to sound wrong, but whenever a police shoots somebody or somebody shoots a cop, whenever it's in a quote-unquote bad, influential neighborhood, it gets mass coverage. Whenever something happens like Russian
That's
Hill
what.
or Nob Hill.
Yeah,
Hang on, or Nob Hill. It's lightly mentioned than the next story. It seems like the news
but
wants to
it's
cover things that happen only
locally
in bad
covered.
areas of the neighborhood where the
Of
minorities
course.
live in the city. I'm like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
wrong with
but
the
what do you want to do
public?
about that? What do you want to do with that? It's been like that for years, though. I don't know what to tell you how to fix that. But I'll tell you
No,
right now that
Marco's on.
I've had to fight with the media about people being shot in places that like one of the places I used to run, one of the clubs I used to run. There was a shooting across the street from there in a city parking lot, and the only thing the media wanted to talk about was the name of my of the establishment I was running. And what I did is I called every news organization. I said, if I hear the name of this company one more time come out of your lips, I will make sure that you are all sued. You know
Two
what
people were
happened?
shot. Two people were shot. Sorry.
Stop. Literally 10 minutes later, the next one came up. Nothing was said from that point on.
Yeah, two people
You
were shot in
have.
the Bayview the same day the 49ers player was shot in Union Square. Union Square,
Okay,
highly
I don't
tourist
know what to
area.
tell you,
so
Elijah. That is just how it
yeah,
is.
shootings
I
are
don't know what
just
to
a
tell
way
you.
of life in this country now. That's one of the saddest parts. So MB, go
NB,
ahead and make your point.
NB, NB, what
No,
are you
hold on.
saying?
Eli, shut up. Let MB make his point because I want to go back to something Dandelion said.
I'm done.
All right. So this is something that NB or Dandelion put in the thing earlier. I want to give a couple minutes to talk about it before I end the stream. Dandelion said, I think one of the most horrific things that happened this week was Brian Kilmeade saying that homeless people should be involuntarily euthanized. And yeah, that is a horrible thing. I didn't know anything about it before it was brought to my attention today, just before the stream. I think Elihu knows more about it than I do. So, Elihu, do you want to talk about it more? Because, as I said, you know more.
Yeah, he was. It's on Fox and Friends. It was. I believe it was yesterday morning. He said this. He was making a comment about security and safety, and he mentioned about homeless. And to sum it up, he said homeless should be criminalized, and the punishment for that crime is death. Talking about involuntarily legalizing homeless. Homeless includes children. 20% of homeless are vets, which is a known fact in this country. So basically, he's advocating for the death of kids and vets.
Are you adding stuff to that? Because what was the exact comment he made?
I will bring up the exact comment in a second. I'll pull it up right here. It's on my feed. One moment. Where is it? Where is it? I got a lot of shit on here.
Hey, Mike, sorry for being so loud earlier.
Hey, do you guys want to hear the statement?
Hold on. Hold on. Let me address what MB just said. MB, dude, we know that shootings do the same thing to me. I want you to make that clear.
I swear to God, I was trying to keep myself as calm as possible. But yeah, I find any shooting like this, it's just like, what do we focus on and what are we ignoring? I think those are the big things because you could argue it's like, okay, a school shooting, those are bad. But you're like, okay, and I'm just bringing this up, but it's like when we have these big cities, I mean, Mike, I don't know, what city do you live in when you're in California?
San Diego. I mean, it's San Diego proper. An area called Mission Valley, near the San Diego Mission.
And do you feel safe there?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's all I'm asking. If you feel safe, that's fine. Elihu, do you feel safe on your transit? Oh, sorry, Mike, you want to respond?
Well, I'll add to that. We both know that not more recently, but in the past, I've traveled to Texas. There are areas of Texas I don't feel safe in. There are areas in San Diego I don't feel safe in. There are areas where, like, for instance, like right now, I can tell you right now, I'm in Mexico. My van, not my smaller van, but my bigger van, is parked on the street with the window down, and unlocked near my house, and I have no worries about anyone going in and stealing anything. But there are areas of San Diego where if
Hey, guys.
I leave my car for a second, I'm locking it up.
Hey guys, really quick, I'm gonna drop off of this one. I'll be back, and I'll be on the other one here.
Yeah, I should end this one really quick. And yeah,
all right, I gotta go though.
and,
You want me
and
to play
even
the clip?
further the point that Gap was making, this story, I know a little bit about what happened, but not enough.
I saw the clip by Mike.
We heard about this stabbing.
Yeah.
And she was from Ukraine, but I really haven't seen. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, that's a sad story, but I hate to say it.
And yeah, Danny Land, that too. I mean, but of course, even on this channel, everything's dominated by that, by the Kirk thing.
Oh God, if we were going to try to get through everything that happened in a week in the political field in America, holy shit.
Let's put it this way: in the United States,
3-hour thing or something.
Well, let's put it this way: in the United States, Danny Land, I could do an entire stream about the mass shootings and school shootings that happen every week on this in this country.
All right, I have a question for you guys.
And that is well, okay. Well, go ahead and ask the question, but I'm going to end the stream because I got to get ready for the next one.
I can wait.
I thought you wanted me to play the clip. I thought you wanted me to play the clip, sound clip.
Oh, yeah. Go if you got the full line. We'll go ahead and play that real quick.
I got a sound bite for you. Hang on, see if you can hear this.
A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you got to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right.
Just kill them.
Yeah. I can agree with the not necessarily the jailing aspect. I mean, forcing them to get help is something I can understand because a lot of them do need help. But involuntary lethal injection to intercut that with saying that people need to get help to saying people need to die. That let's put it this way: that's the type of rhetoric that got Charlie Kirk killed.
20% of the homeless are vets in this country. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Charlie Kirk. So that didn't sound like Charlie Kirk.
No, we're not talking about Kirk. We're talking about Kilmeade.
No, I said that's the same type of rhetoric.
Who is Kilmeade?
He's a host for Fox and Friends.
I'm sorry, I don't know who the guy is. I don't watch Fox TV.
All right, but I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for playing that, Elihu. Yeah, that's fucked up. We can try to talk about it more next week, but with the way the things are happening, I kind of doubt it. But I know that I do know that the story that led to that comment by Kilmeade was the Iriana Zaretsky, and I know I'm mispronouncing that. Sorry, but I'm going to end the stream, guys. I will see you on the CNA stream in about 5 minutes.
I got Joe Low trying to get some more coffee.
Let's not do anything political on that stream unless it involves what we're talking about.
Later Wednesday, Alien Earth, and other shit, right?
I plan on talking about Dexter. Elihu, did you finish Dexter?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
You're always behind.
I told you, Dexter. I'm not interested in Dexter or that shit. I don't like that stuff.
Oh my god!
All right.
I got it, Joe Low. I've been holding this for 4 minutes, guys.
Later.
I got you. I'll talk to you later. I got you,
Next stream. Next stream.
I'll see you guys.